Good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is you need to take the suction machine off because you'll need to be able to get to the chair. And obviously most of the time you do this when Beth's in the chair, but I'm just thinking when Beth's not in the chair because it makes it a little bit easier because it's sat further forward, which means you can get underneath better. But most of the time, obviously, it's sat with her in it, so there's a little bit less space. So just to remind you, this button here, switch, button, lever, that's the word I'm looking for, you need to use to be able to lie the chair all the way back. It will only go a certain distance and you've got the rockers on, so it can never fall backwards. And then obviously goes forward, but once it gets to a certain point, particularly if Beth's in it, it will ping her forward. So you always need to make sure that you're holding and I've got pressure onto the handlebars. So I'll put it like that for now. So you've got two parts to get the motor working. You've got this, which is the actual motor. So that handle is like a security safety thing, which we put on at the end. You've got this, which is your cable to connect your electronics, which join to this to make sure that you can power and control it. So always make sure that's out of the way when you're connecting it, because otherwise it'll get trapped and then you won't be able to make it work. And then you've got the bar that it connects onto, and we've got 4 Velcro straps. So this is going to go over a bar in a minute, you'll see, and then we're going to Velcro it in place. So you've just got to make sure that it fits between, I'm already getting black fingers, it fits between these 2 parts here, to your 2 brakes. This is slightly bent as well, but it needs to fit between here. So take the handle, take this, you will need to be on your knees to be able to do this. Slide it in between, and then you might need to come around the side, Rasha, to be able to see. It's clicked onto, you see this bar here, and these half circle C-clips are over it. Now, it's not pushed all the way in, so I'm going to give it a good push, and then it's clicked on both sides. I want to check that the distance here is not going to rub against the wheel. It should be the same on the other side. Normally it's a bit more on that side. So starting on, what's that, the right hand side of the chair, where the plug-in cable is, you've got the Velcro straps, and this is a bit fiddly because they're very sticky and they just stick to everything, which is what we want them to do, but it's a bit annoying. So you're going to pull this as hard as you can round, and you're just going to stick it to itself. So I'm just sticking it to itself to just hold it in place, basically. So that's one. The next one along, that's further into the middle, is attached on the inside, as it were, of the bar. And so it pulls against it. So you're still going to head forwards and stick it to itself. So again, pull it as tight as you can, particularly that first one. It stops it. What we're trying to do is stop it sliding along the tube as well. So that's 2 Velcros on that side, and then this side it's your electric cable, and you want to find the end that matches. There's only one way it goes in, so this white bit that's sticking out should be on the white bit there, and that's clicked in, and we'll test it in a minute whether it works because we've got to put the battery on. Then go to the other side. So on this side it's kind of the same again, but it's slightly different. So the difference is, with the one nearest the wheel, for some slightly unknown reason, when you're steering, this starts to move that way. So what we do is we connect this through the brake bar. So you just go round the brake bar, and it's basically just levering it to this side of the chair, because otherwise it just goes the wrong way. So again, we're going to pull it as tight as possible, wrap it round on itself, and then back over like that. I did a very good job there. Try again, a bit tighter. There we go. Back on itself. So that one is a bit different, and then this one is the same as the other side. Pull it as tight as you can. And back on. There we go. So they hold themselves pretty well in place. I actually have probably not moved it far enough over this side. You can see there the wheel. The space between the wheel and the brake bar is larger this side, so it kind of wants to be the same each side. So really it should be another centimetre or so this way. And the final thing is which is like an emergency strap. It doesn't really for much use for how we use the chair, but it just hooks over there, out the way. The theory is if you're not using this, you can lift this up, and you can lift the whole thing up. But because we've got other equipment in the way, and because it's so much weight on the back of the chair, we never do it. It's either the motor's either on or the motor's off. So that's the motor attached. Now we need to attach this, which is the battery. So there's only one way for the battery to attach. So the way it connects is, it's these are the points of connection, like in a normal small size battery, and this just slides on. It can be a bit temperamental though, so pop it on about that point, and then you're just going to slide it as hard as you can. So there's a little bit of a lip first of all, and you're going to slide it as hard as you can until it clicks. And that will now be in place and is nice and firm. We're going to test that it works by pressing the on button there. We've got a green light. That shows us how full the battery is, and that this is the direction of travel, which is the forwards, and that's the backwards button. So if I wanted to change it to backwards, I do that. And then this is the speed, so it goes all the way up. So this is fast as a hare, slow as a tortoise, and normally about that distance to make it go on a flattish surface. So we know that's working. I'll put it on forward and we'll test it. There we go, we're going back again. So we know that's working. When it comes to getting it off, you need to press this button and pull it out, and then this is where it's a bit tricky. So normally, sometimes it's a kind of, it's gone stiff again. This, we've replaced the batteries. There's two big batteries inside this container, and for some reason it's gone a bit stiff. So sometimes it takes quite a lot of effort to push and pull, and it can be two people, like one person holding it, one person pulling. The other thing that's worth noting is when you're going along, if you hit a bit of a bump or go down a curb or something like that, and this jolts, it can stop the points connecting, and it kind of disconnects, and sometimes you just suddenly stop. So the best thing to do then is to take this off again and then give it another click back in place, and then generally it starts again. Or sometimes you just turn it off and on, like with all electronic equipment, and that often will work. So when you come to take it all off again, just always make sure that the first thing you do is take your battery off. There you go. Disconnect here by clicking that white bit. It just stops it from, takes that latch off. That pulls out. Strap off from this side. And I won't go through it all, but you're basically undoing the Velcro, and then it's pulling it back. Sometimes it's easier if you put the brakes on. It doesn't matter if Beth's out the chair when you come to take it off, but what we find is trying to manoeuvre it in a small space, so like by side of her bed, is quite difficult. So we tend to come in the house, take it all off, and then go through. And the only other thing to say is, when you've done all of that, make sure that goes back under the bed. Just be careful you don't leave wires for people to trip over, because it's at the bedside. And then this battery, always just plug it back in, because then whoever comes to it next knows that it's been on charge. Put the suction machine back on. There you go, you can stop there.